Are you ready to take your fantasy football game to the next level? To dominate your league, you need more than just a basic understanding of the sport. You need to be willing to dig deep and uncover hidden gems that can give you an edge over your competition. But here's where it gets interesting. What if you could find players who are so under the radar, they won't even be drafted in standard 10-team leagues, yet still have a decent chance of becoming fantasy relevant during the season? Enter the world of deep sleepers, where the savvy fantasy owner can find gold in the late rounds of the draft or on the waiver wire. And this is the part most people miss. These sleepers aren't just limited to standard leagues. They can be especially valuable in deeper formats, such as 12 or 14-team leagues, dynasty leagues, or even IDP leagues. So, if you're ready to challenge yourself and take your fantasy game to new heights, let's dive into some of the most intriguing deep sleepers for the 2025 season. One player who fits the bill is Adonai Brown, a wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. After a disappointing regular season, Brown broke out in the playoffs, totaling the second most playoff receiving yards of any player. And with his field-stretching ability and dig play potential, he could be an ideal best ball stash. But what about Jaxson Dart, a rookie running back for the Washington Commanders? Despite being drafted in the 7th round, Jaxson Dart has been impressing in rookie camp and preseason, showing off his speed and quick-cutting ability. And with Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson Jr. ahead of him on the depth chart, Jaxson Dart could quickly work his way into the Commanders' rushing rotation. Another player to watch is Jaxson Dart, a quarterback for the New York Giants. As a non-starter with a high statistical ceiling, Dart could be an instant add if he captures the starting job. And with his willingness to create plays with his legs, he could be a fantasy manager's dream come true. But here's a question. What do you think about the Giants' decision to invest so much draft capital in Dart? Do you think he's worth the risk? Or are there other quarterbacks who could be more reliable? Tory Horton, a wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, is another deep sleeper who could make some noise in 2025. Despite slipping to the 5th round of the draft, Horton has been pressing Marquez Valdes-Scantling for the Seahawks' number 3 receiver role, and his big playability makes him an intriguing stash. And what about Theo Johnson, a tight end for the New York Giants? After a promising start to the 2024 season, Johnson suffered a metatarsal fracture in his foot that required surgery. With the Giants' additions of Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, Johnson could be an appealing target in 2025. Adonai Mitchell, a wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts, is another player who could be due for a breakout season. Despite a disappointing rookie year, Mitchell has been receiving positive marks in camp and could push Alec Pierce for a starting role on the perimeter. But what do you think about Mitchell's chances of improving his efficiency and becoming a reliable fantasy option? Keaton Mitchell, a running back for the Baltimore Ravens, is a speed demon who could be an almost mandatory insurance policy in any league deeper than ESPN's standard. And with Derrick Henry ahead of him on the depth chart, Mitchell could be a valuable stash in case of an injury. Kyle Monangai, a running back for the Chicago Bears, is a sure-handed prospect who has emerged as a legitimate threat to Roschon Johnson's status as DeAndre Swift's primary backup. And with new coach Ben Johnson's willingness to spread the rushing chores around, Monangai could earn a meaningful role in 2025. Finally, there's Trey Tucker, a wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders, who could be in line for a much larger role in his 3rd NFL season. With Pete Carroll and Geno Smith now in Las Vegas, Tucker is in a much better position to succeed than he was in his first 2 years. But here's a question. Do you think Tucker has what it takes to finally break through and become a reliable fantasy option? Or are there other wide receivers who could be more promising? So, there you have it, a list of deep sleepers who could make a big impact in 2025. But we want to hear from you. Who are some of your favorite deep sleepers, and why do you think they have what it takes to succeed? Let us know in the comments, and let's get the conversation started.